Washougal is really underrated. Hey, welcome back to Living in Vancouver and Camas, Washington YouTube channel. I'm your host, Hannah Dubyne, and I'm excited you're here today because we're talking about the city of Washougal, and I think this city is underrated. I'm going to give you some reasons why today. Washougal is often compared to Camas, right next door, and because Camas is the place to be these days, the best schools, the best nature, the best community, the best downtown, people think anything else is not good. But I don't think that's true. I think Washougal has a lot going for it. By the way, if you're new here, thanks for watching. We post new videos every single week about living in Southwest Washington, Vancouver, and Camas area. And if you need help selling or buying a home professionally in Clark County, we'd love to serve you. Reach out to us. Our contact information will be down below. Okay, so let's talk about why Washougal is underrated. Well, the first reason is that it's a lot more affordable. By the way, I'm going to compare Washougal to Camas a lot in this video, though I know it's not the only thing people are comparing it to, the only city, but that is the comparison that often gets brought up, so that is a reoccurring theme I'm going to touch on. So Washougal is a lot more affordable, and let me share with you the statistics. I just pulled the median home sale price for both cities the other day. Right now in Camas, Washington, the median home sale price is about $840,000. Wow, that's a high number. Just a couple years ago, it was significantly lower than that, and it just keeps going higher and higher every year. One day soon, I'm sure we're gonna break $900,000. In Washougal, the median home sale price right now is around $600,000. That is significantly less. Significantly, that's almost, I mean, what is that, like 40% less, somewhere in that range. So your money is going to take you a lot further in Washougal than it is in Camas. Now, keep in mind that those Washougal prices also encompass lots of acreage properties, whereas Camas doesn't have quite as much of that. And so it's not like every $840,000 house is going to cost $600,000 in Washougal, but it illustrates to you that it is significantly less costly in Washougal. It's also less competitive. Because Camas has gained this great reputation online all across the country, there are always so many people who want to relocate to the city, and it's got the best schools and the best nature and the best community and the best downtown, especially if you're looking to buy a house in spring when it's really competitive here in Southwest Washington, you might consider Washougal. Another huge pro about Washougal that I feel like is overlooked is that it's arguably closer to nature. Of course, Camas has lots of great nature going for it, namely Camas Park and the surrounding lakes and trails. Nothing wrong with those are phenomenal. But if you want a nature experience that is truly immersive, in Washougal, you're right next to the gorge. You're the last city in Clark County before you go down to the gorge. And so if you want to go down into the gorge and access some of those hiking opportunities, waterfalls, etc., that's a great spot to be. You're also close to Cottonwood Beach in Washougal. There's no beach in Camas as far as I know. You're close to Jones Creek. If you like to dirt bike, that's a great spot to go. You are close to Washougal River. There's Sandy Swimming Hole over there, which is a cool spot. And the river is just beautiful even from the car. You don't even have to get out and go anywhere. So lots and lots of nature opportunities in Washougal. Another overlooked aspect of Washougal is that I think it has a really nice community blend. Camas these days has become very white collar, which there's nothing wrong with that, but there's a lot of working professionals in the city who work from home or they commute into Portland as executives, they work at Fisher Investments, they work at HP, etc. And in Washougal, you've got a little bit more of that blue collar tinge, but you also have white collar, and so it's kind of a beautiful blend of the two. Whenever I talk to folks in Washougal, it's always good. It's always good. Another thing to consider with Washougal is its schools. I've heard from parents and friends, clients that I know who live in Washougal or go to Washougal schools, that they feel like they're a little bit more inclusive than what they would have gotten in Camas. Camas is known for its highly ranked schools, which is incredible, but it can turn into a little bit of a pressure cooker, right? When you have all of these high-achieving parents sending their high-achieving kids to a high-achieving school, if you don't have a child who is A+ all the time, they might feel a little left out if they're getting B-, C+, whatever the case is. And then with regard to sports, Camas schools always have really great sports. They have very athletic kids. And so especially in high school, when you get cut from the team, if you're not a kid playing that sport all year round, you might not make it. And part of the point of high school sports and school sports is to have the opportunity. And so perhaps your child would fit in a little bit better in Washougal and get the opportunity that they couldn't elsewhere. Let's not forget that Washougal is really not that much further from Camas or Vancouver. It's an extra 5-10 minutes down the 14, and I'm talking the city of Washougal, not way out in the boonies in the acreage. But now that we're talking about that, if you want acreage living, Washougal's an amazing spot to still be kind of close in. If you travel constantly and you go to PDX or you need to frequent Portland, I would highly recommend Washougal to you because that is as far south as you can get and still have a variety of acreage options. If you're looking for acreage rural living, besides Washougal, you would need to go look up in Brush Prairie, Hawkinson, which are both pretty close in. Those are super solid for visiting PDX and Portland. But then beyond that, you'd be in Battleground, Amboy, Yakult, La Center. Those are significantly further away from the Columbia River, and so it's really gonna up your commute. I would consider Washougal. Another request we get is river living, waterfront living. There are waterfront living opportunities here in Clark County. There's not really a ton of them. They're still somewhat exclusive. Of course, the most coveted being living on the Columbia River. Any property on the Columbia River is extremely exclusive, incredibly expensive, multi-million-dollar properties and homes. Most people don't have that kind of money. If you do, awesome, you've got options, but a lot more people have $800,000, $900,000, $1.1, $1.2, $1.3 million, somewhere in that range. And that is the price range that a lot of the land and homes on the Washougal River come up on. So if you have a little bit of a smaller budget, but you still want to live on or close to a river, the Washougal River might be something great to consider. Couple cons to consider, and this is not an exhaustive list by any means, but just a couple things that come up frequently is the water prices for city water in Washougal are reportedly very high. I have a link down below from the city of Washougal about their water rates. I read through the page the other day. It was a little bit nondescript and a little bit outdated, but Washougal water prices are high, so your utilities for water will be higher. You also are going to have less big stores available to you. In Washougal, there's like a Safeway and Starbucks and Rite Aid and those kind of stores, but there's no Walmart, there's no Home Depot, there's no Costco. All of those things, Trader Joe's, they're all over in East Vancouver. And so you're still gonna need to drive to those big stores, but for your everyday needs, you'd be able to stay in Washougal. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video about why I think Washougal is underrated. Let me know what you think about the city down below in the comments. And of course, if you need help professionally selling or buying a home in Clark County, we'd love to serve you. Our contact information will be down below, and we can't wait to see you again soon. Bye.